If you have a problem with Americans being critical of Israel because Israel is the most important thing in the world to you, please, by all means, go live in Israel. Go live in Israel. Leave this country.
Their job is to terrorize Americans.
Yep.
And have us bow our heads to Israel. If I do die, by the way, it was definitely someone who was in favor of Israel, maybe the Israeli government itself. Now, why do I say, oh, you're anti-Semitic? They literally said, they wrote an email, you are already dead, you just don't know it yet, and this is on behalf of Israel.
Wow. This may be the greatest rant TYT has ever given. This is their end game of the TYT cinematic universe. Absolutely worth watching. For context, Anna was walking her dog and a woman approached her, started accusing her of being anti-Semitic, had her dog sick Anna's dog. So come to find out, there's this organization online where you can just submit individuals and put their photos up on the internet and say, hey, these people are anti-Semitic. When Anna and Cenk are done, I'm gonna show you this website because it is entirely meant to put fear in people so that they do not criticize the Israeli government. What in the 1984 is going on here?
You try to sick your dog at my dog. You try to threaten my husband's livelihood. You think I'm gonna, I'm a little, wilting flower and I'm so scared. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. This isn't gonna stop me from doing the commentary that I do. And by the way, look at what kind of disgusting, despicable, dishonest pieces of crap Canary Mission is. Because while they were pretending as if I was doing the so-called happy merchant meme and that I'm some big anti-Semite, let's take a look at the video in full context, shall we?
Your best friend's Jewish.
They don't care.
No, my point is, did Larry Ellison or Bill Ackman or Netanyahu call her and say, hey, are you okay with this?
Larry Ellison can tell me how my ass tastes. Okay, how about that?
I volunteer as tribute.
Yeah, right, so disgusting, weird Oracle founder going around talking about like, yes, we're gonna surveil everybody. Everyone will be on their best behavior. Yes, you're a freak. You're a total creep.
Okay.
All right, total creep.
So my point is, do not put Larry Ellison's actions on our friends.
No, I don't. I don't because I'm not an idiot. Okay, I don't conflate a nation state with an entire group of people who have no say in what's going on in Gaza, no say over what these disgusting billionaires in America are doing. No, I don't conflate the two because I'm not stupid and I'm not hateful. They're such disgusting, dishonest scum. They're scum. They're scum.
Their job is to terrorize Americans. And have us bow our heads to Israel.
Kiss the wall.
Because if you ever say anything against Israel, we will pretend that you're a hateful bigot. Even in a clip where we literally said, this has nothing to do with Jewish Americans, our Jewish friends and family. They're like, shh, don't say that, don't share that. Let's just make them look like they're anti-Semites. And then hopefully someone will do violence against them and terrorize them and stalk them. Congratulations, Canary Mission. This is the fruits of your labor. The death threats that Anna gets and that I get, the fruits of your labor. You must be so proud because your job is to terrorize Americans into compliance with Israel. I would love to know, and every reporter in the country should be asking if they didn't all work for goddamn Israel, where the funding for Canary Mission comes from. Where does it come from? Who are the people trying to terrorize Americans and saying, if anyone in your family ever criticizes beloved Israel in the middle of a genocide, we'll have your family members stalked, we'll have your family members fired, we'll ruin your life. Now look guys, we're tough and strong and
we're not gonna stop.
No, hold on.
We're not gonna stop.
Hold on. God knows what they're gonna do to us, okay? But I run into, now we're talking about normal Americans here, Christians, has nothing to do with Palestine. Anna has nothing to do with Palestine. They're not Muslim, they're not Arab, they're not anything, okay? And by the way, we shared a report with you guys last week. I have an update on that, maybe I'll share later in the week, about groups now trying to get normal Americans fired from work for supporting Palestine in social media. Not attacking Israel, let alone Jews, but just somebody put a Palestinian flag in their Facebook profile, concerted effort, total rando American. You have to fire her, she's an anti-Semite, fire them. Israel is the kings of cancel culture, and they have and they keep just pressing down on all of America. You better not criticize. You better follow Israel's orders. You better give us another $300 billion. We should not give a single dollar to Israel, zero. Is that anti-Semitic? Yeah, of course they are. They're gonna say, if you don't give us $300 billion, you hate Jews. Are you insane? You're driving anti-Semitism. Cut it out. You're endangering Jews in America and across the world with your vicious efforts to terrorize anyone who criticizes Israel. No, we're not gonna stop. But most people, I run into Muslim Americans, they're like, I can't say anything. I'm an American citizen, I came here for freedom, and I cannot say a word online, because if I say one thing, hey, could you please stop murdering children? No, way too much. Could you please stop, Jen? Stop.
No, I'm sick of them having that special treatment. I'm sick of them having that special level of entitlement where our Constitution somehow doesn't apply to us when it comes to critique of Israel. No, I'm not gonna give them that pleasure. They don't deserve it. And if you have a problem with Americans being critical of Israel because Israel is the most important thing in the world to you, please, by all means, go live in Israel. Go live in Israel. Leave this country to the warm-blooded Americans who actually believe in our constitutional rights.
And by the way, that includes Jewish Americans, Muslim Americans, Christian Americans, every kind of American. But if you're like, no, I worship Israel, there's a great way to worship Israel, by going to Israel, okay? So look, if you're wondering why I'm so animated, other than the obvious, they've also threatened my family. And the other day I got an email saying, you're already dead, you just don't know it. So these are the terrorists that work inside America on behalf of Israel. So if I do die, by the way, it was definitely someone who was in favor of Israel, maybe the Israeli government itself. Now, why do I say, oh, you're anti-Semitic? They literally said, they wrote an email, you are already dead, you just don't know it yet, and this is on behalf of Israel.
Wow.
So
that would be a huge boom for the Candace Owens show. That'd be a lot of content for her.
Who's the terrorist?
By the way,
who killed 20,000 children? Who has a worse civilian kill ratio than Hamas or any other terrorist group in the world? IDF, Israel. Who has done at least 70 October 7th?
Anthony Fauci.
Israel.
Yep.
Oh.
Not Jews, Israel. There's wonderful Jewish Americans fighting against that today here in America, and I love them for it. Because you know why? They're Americans.
Yep.
And they're good, decent people who actually listened in synagogue and temple and learned the actual faith of Judaism and not.
Here's the problem though, you don't have to say that. You don't have to hedge every statement against Israel by saying, oh, Jews are so wonderful, they're great.
Not this nationalistic, sick Zionism that demands obedience and terrorizes the whole world. And if anyone dares disagree with their nationalism, then they get accused of the worst things in the world, and they try to end their careers. They've been terrorizing this country for year after year, decade after decade, and we're sick of it. The left's sick of it, the right is sick of it, the whole country's sick of it. The only puppets, oh no, puppet, Trump, that still work for Israel. Oh, he said work for Israel. Yeah, goddamn right I did. 90% of Congress gets money from the Israeli lobby. Yes, it's legal, but that is legalized bribes, and everybody knows it. We know it when Big Pharma does it, we know it when Big Oil does it, and we know when Israel does it.
They're also fearful of repercussions if they don't do what they're told.
We see you now, we see you. You're buying all of our politicians. That's why people like Cory Booker are like, oh, AIPAC. I don't know what AIPAC is. Oh, they only give me a tiny, oh, I love Israel, I love Israel. I love Israel, I bow down to Israel. We see you, Cory Booker. We see you, Democrats. We see you, Republicans. And yes, mainstream media. Most of all, we see you doing hasbara, propaganda for Israel, decade after decade. Today in the news, Israel slaughters 45 Palestinians, and New York Times reporting, well, they say that
Only
Hamas
45.
killed the IDF soldiers. Well, did it? You're the New York Times. You're supposed to give us the truth. It turns out they didn't. It was one of their own unexploded bombs. But the New York Times didn't tell you that.
No,
the New York Times said, oh, Hamas broke the ceasefire. A bunch of liars. Mainstream media, we see you. We see that you're working for Israel. You're the most biased people in America. And you know what? I didn't know the happy merchant meme either, okay? So now I know it, thank you, I appreciate it. You know what? I'm now gonna call this the Larry Ellison. Not about Jews, not even about Israel. This one is just about Larry Ellison.
See, what you're doing here, Cenk, is you're placating. You're doing exactly what they want you to do. What you need to do instead is say, you think I'm anti-Semitic? You think I hate Jews? Good for you. Don't care. That's what you're gonna have to do. Because if you sit there and say, no, I'm not anti-Semitic, I don't hate Jews, they're gonna say, prove it. And they're gonna give you the conditions by what that would be. You need to just not be afraid of being called a racist. I talk about Mexicans on my channel. I talk about black people on my channel. I talk about white people on my channel. I've never brought up the fact, except I guess now, that I have black friends. I have Mexican family. I've had black and Mexican and native foster kids. I don't need to bring it up. I don't need to prove that I'm not a racist. I'm gonna talk about other races. I'm gonna talk about other religions. I don't give a shit if you believe I'm racist. I don't give a shit if you think I'm against some kind of religion. You have to know who you are and just be unbothered by any of those things. Here's Canary Mission. If you go to their mission statement, this is interesting. On the Canary website, they have a search for a medical professional. So you can search for people that might be anti-Semitic, I'm assuming. Search for a student. What? Search for a professor. I wonder how they get that information. Our mission. Canary Mission documents individuals and organizations that promote hatred of the US, Israel, and Jews on the North American college campuses and beyond. Canary Mission investigates hatred across the entire political spectrum, including the far right, far left, and anti-Israel activists. Anti-Israel activists. Not even anti-Semitic. So they're just straight up anti-Israel activists. Canary Mission is motivated by the desire to combat the rise in anti-Semitism on college campuses. Okay, as I said, they're conflating the two. Anti-Israel activists. They're attempting to combat the rise in anti-Semitism, as if a rise in being against the Israeli government is the exact same as being against Jews. They know exactly what they're doing. They're using their race and the Holocaust as a hall pass to do whatever they want without being critiqued. Canary Mission gathers content from publicly available sources. Additionally, we collect and validate materials submitted privately through our website. We aggregate this information into a concise and easily searchable format. Why would you need to search for that? How do they do this? Whoa, okay, so report an individual, report an event. Wow, okay. These guys are not effing around. Let's see, click that. Submission form for individuals. Enter name, last name, middle name, photograph of the individual. University or company? Company. Huh. Select citizenship, foreign national. What in the 1984 is going on here? URL that shows the person's identity. As part of our comprehensive investigation. Who the hell do these people think they are? We require a URL that can confirm the biographical details of the person. Jesus Christ. All right, let's see who the professors are. Sanderman, professor. Sanderman participated in at least one online anti-Israel event in October. What? This shit is crazy. Sanderman participated in at least one online anti-Israel event in October 2023, organized by the Democratic Socialists of America. You are not making friends. You are not making friends, Israel. Wow, this is... And they're photos of them. Hold on. Outrageous. It's outrageous.